The Dark Knight was released on July 18, 2008, and was produced and made by Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures. Christopher Nolan not only directed the film, but also helped to produce and write it. He, along with his brother Jonathan, co-wrote the screenplay. Kevin Delanoy, Emma Thomas, and Charles Roven all helped to produce the film. The legendary and brilliant film composer Hans Zimmer scored the film, while Wally Pfister was the director of photography. The film also boasted some of Hollywood's best talented actors, such as Christian Bale, Morgan Freeman, and Gary Oldman. But make no doubt about it, others, such as Heath Ledger and Aaron Eckhart, gave amazing performances as well. Not to mention other supporting cast members like Michael Caine, Cillian Murphy, Maggie Gyllenhaal, and Anthony Michael Hall. To give a brief summary about the film, Batman, aligning himself with Gordon and Harvey Dent, has been able to keep crime in the city of Gotham under control. But when a new criminal mastermind, calling himself the Joker, suddenly turns everything upside down, the Batman begins to question everything, including his own motives and ambitions for the city. We said that instead of being a typical superhero movie, The Dark Knight falls into more of a crime thriller category and genre, and part of that genre includes the element of suspense. Throughout the film, Batman is constantly being forced into certain situations, whether it's saving citizens or trying to stop a hospital from being blown to smithereens. We also see a lot of character growth. We see as Batman tries to go over in his mind between what is right and what is wrong. He has one rule: never kill anyone. And the Joker knows this and tries his best to get him to break his one rule. And in the end, I think the Joker won, but that's for you to decide. He also manages to get the whole city to turn against Batman, which is surprising. One of the themes that we think we saw was that in order to keep from tearing itself to shreds, society needs to believe that good cannot be corrupted, and that good will and can overcome darkness and evil. Even when he is pressured by his own dark inner urges, Batman refuses to break his one rule. He doesn't seek to kill criminals, but only to bring them to justice. The Joker, on the other hand, has no rules, and wishes only to show the city and its people its true colors, and he does this. Throughout the film, the Joker is constantly working multiple angles, and he gets Harvey, Gotham's white knight in shining armor, to turn against everything he stood for. And in the end, the Dark Knight takes the blame for everything. There are many symbols throughout the movie, but one in particular that stands out to us was the double-sided or two-faced coin. In the exposition of the film, we learn that Harvey possesses a coin that is double-sided, and towards the middle of the movie, he says that he makes his own luck. This is also when we learn that his coin is in fact double-sided. Later on, however, one side becomes burnt, symbolizing that now anything can happen. A clear choice, or the right choice, is no longer apparent. Another symbol that we saw was the cell phone tracker. Batman, with the help of Fox, breaks everyone's privacy by tapping their phones. Just like the Joker or Harvey, the Batman does not break the rules, but only when he deems it necessary. Throughout the movie, we saw great examples of both low-key and high-key lighting. During the Joker's interrogation scene, we see that the whole room is dark except for one light which is shining up directly at the Joker's face and hands. This helps set the mood and tone as being somewhat mysterious, as well as giving us the illusion that something more sinister is brewing inside of the Joker's head. At the very beginning opening sequence, the entire room is brightly lit as we see sunlight shining in from all windows. This helps set the setting as being just any ordinary weekday, showing us that anything can happen at any time. We thought that the ways in which light was used was generally very effective, even when you might have not noticed. From the very beginning opening sequence, we see as the camera from a long-angled shot zooms and focuses into a window of a building. The long shot gives us a great introduction to the setting as being the downtown of a city. We also get a rack focus sort of shot when we suddenly are watching the start of an action high sequence instead of an introduction sort of shot. Whenever a situation intensified, the score greatly increased in volume. This is especially evident when the Joker creates a scene, so to speak, at Bruce Wayne's party. Although this could also be seen during the street scene when the Joker tries to get Batman to hit him, as well as during when Batman physically assaults the Joker while interrogating him. A lot of what we said in the slide before can be classified as non-diegetic because the score clearly intensifies in certain situations, usually in situations with the Joker. And with the help of Batman, however, we usually hear notes from low strings, which usually gives us the feeling of excitement. And with the Joker, we usually get feeling of terror. One of many fantastic and well-done shots in The Dark Knight comes when Batman jumps off a skyscraper in Hong Kong and glides to another building before bursting through a bunch of glass. The editing of this sequence was done very smoothly and worked very well in this scene. I overall liked it. I also have to add the fact that the aerial shot gave us an amazing, stunning view of the city and fit well into this type of film as being sort of action-y. I would say that without a doubt, Heath Ledger gave us the most memorable performance of the entire film. I say this not only because of his amazing dedication and passion, but also because of the little but effective quirks that he added, like when his crew member tried to unmask Batman and instead got shocked. The Joker laughed and mocked him instead of helping or checking to see if he was alright. I also want to mention that during the famous interrogation scene, Heath showed us his true dedication to the film by telling Christian Bale to actually hit and punch him to make it look as real as possible. Christian Bale was another one who gave an amazing performance as Batman. I think the most memorable thing he gave to us to remember him by was his stress and emphasis on the words he spoke as Batman. You know, the infamous "I'm Batman" phrase and tone. But make no mistake about it, the scene in which Christian Bale was mourning the loss of his his love was equally fantastic, showing us that he could give us an emotional performance as well. Speaking of emotional performances, the scene in which Harvey Dent mourned Rachel by yelling and shaking his head was very powerful. Aaron definitely sold the part. I also want to mention that Gary Oldman also gave a heartwarming performance as being a tough police lieutenant, but also as a soft and warm family man. All these performances, with the guidance of Christopher Nolan, gave us the masterpiece that is The Dark Knight.
You know, I'll settle for his loved ones.
We're not intimidated by thugs.
You know, you remind me of my father. I hated my father.
Okay, stop.
Well, hello, beautiful. You must be Harvey's squeeze. Hmm? And you are beautiful. Well, you look nervous. Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them? Come here. Hey. Look at me. So I had a wife, beautiful, like you, who tells me I worry too much, who tells me I ought to smile more, who gambles and gets in deep with the sharks. Hey. One day they carve her face. We have no money for surgeries. She can't take it. I just want to see her smile again. I just want her to know that I don't care about the scars. So, I stick a razor in my mouth and do this to myself. And you know what? She can't stand the sight of me. She leaves. Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. A little fight in you. I like that.